Why global stocks will continue to fall? Answer is simple: denial, complete denial. You see at the world around you, look at the commentators and analysts, they still are extremely bullish on stocks. One commentator says today, invest 100% in stocks. Another says, Fed is not going to taper. They are just they're just talking about tapering as a course of action which they could take. Naturally, stocks are on a downhill. Dow continues to plummet, as I had mentioned a few weeks back. After gold and Nikkei, Dow is next on cards, and the fall is clearly visible. Let's take China. Shanghai Composite is now at a 4.5 year old low. It's dipped below the 2000 mark, perilously close to 1950. There is a tremendous liquidity squeeze in China. The mid-tier Chinese banks are devoid of liquidity, and the People's Bank of China refuses to infuse more liquidity into the economy. Now, these mid-tier Chinese banks lend to mid-tier enterprises, the Chinese enterprises, which are involved in low-cost manufacturing of consumer goods, of construction materials, and naturally, as liquidity gets withdrawn from the economy, these are the first to get affected, and that is going to have a tremendous impact in the world economy. That is why you see the global markets really very jittery at this point of time. More importantly, as I mentioned, is the denial that there is a change, that Fed taper was one of the reasons, but there are also other fundamental reasons why the global stock markets will continue to correct. I believe until the time that these so-called bulls, who have been extremely bullish on world stock markets, convert themselves and become bears, global stocks will continue and keep falling. How long will this continue? I believe they seem to be still quite determined that investing 100% in stocks is the way to go about, and that's not the way I feel. All the evidence is there that the Fed taper is indeed going to take place. The denial among commentators that a Fed taper was only something sounded by Bernanke and he is not so serious, or rather, this is not going to happen, that this was meant only to lessen market expectations about the probability of a Fed tapering are untrue. I can give you umpteen instances, but the entire emphasis of Bernanke was that taper is round the corner. Why would he waste so much time in a press conference dwelling on this otherwise? He could have gone for a summer holiday instead. I think that is ridiculous to say that tapering is not on the cards. It is very much round the corner, and the earlier the bulls take cognizance of it, the better. Otherwise, they would be forced to turn bearish in a couple of months' time, by which time the stock indices would have dipped quite substantially, and you as investor would have lost a lot of money. I expect a tremendous correction in the global stock markets to continue. Around 10 to 15% is clear. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to even 20-25% by the end of August 31, by which time I would expect the bulls to start capitulating and turning into bears. This would be the time, once the capitulation starts to commence, this would be the most appropriate time for you as investors to enter into the stock market. So, quite contrary to what some analysts believe, be 100% invested in stocks. My sincere advice is be 0% invested in stocks. Go on your summer vacation, enjoy your holiday, and be completely out of the stock markets. The temporary revivals, the temporary rebounds that you will see in global stock markets will only be temporary. They will not last too long, and I can see a clear trend, very clear trend of a fall taking place in most global stock indices. This will continue until the bulls capitulate, they become bearish on the markets. This is not going to happen until end of August 2013. So relax, stay away from stocks completely, and enjoy your summer holiday. Take care. Bye bye.